Hello everyone and welcome back to Tyto Ecology, where we are here in our biodome, which is actually based off my homeland, the Mojave Desert, and currently things are a little bit interesting. We have a real infestation of these jackrabbits that have been eating absolutely everything. Oh, good golly, they're doing it again. We are constantly fighting to just keep these guys fed, so we've introduced quite a few bobcats in hopes that they may trim down the population of rabbits just a little bit, or I should say hares, because I believe jackrabbits are hares. I always forget to look that up. I'm so sorry, you guys. I will look that up, but I believe that there is a distinction between rabbits and hares, and I just believe that despite their name, jackrabbits are actually in the hare family. So let's keep an eye on things. So far, everybody's looking all right. Biodome HP keeps going down though, and that does scare me a little. No, they're eating everything again. They're eating so much, and it is very hard to keep everything. Look at them all. You can see them all hopping around down there. There's like 20 juveniles in most of the colonies, and that is an incredibly different number to sustain. Oop, I saw a spot right here. It's an incredibly difficult number to sustain because there's just so many, and it makes things very, very difficult. We also have some snakes in there. I think the snakes are doing all right. From what I can see, I don't think we're gonna actually get that one down. So the snakes seem to be doing all right. They've been eating some of these jackrabbits as well, and the bobcats are doing pretty well too. Now, most of the bobcats still have a long time until reproduction. If we look at a lot of these territories, 11 weeks, or no, that's a jackrabbit territory, excuse me. I thought I clicked a bobcat. Is it not letting me click the bobcat? There we go. 17 weeks. I believe that's one of the lower numbers. And, yeah, 41 weeks. They're quite some time from reproducing. Meanwhile, the jackrabbits reproduce at an absolutely terrifying rate. There's already 35, 20, 31, 28 juveniles. That's the bobcats again. I can't see. That's not jackrabbits. There's terrifying numbers of these jackrabbits here, and that scares me more than a little bit. I'm not going to lie. So let's go ahead and see. We don't have a lot of Tyto coins, but let's look and see if we can unlock any other potential predators that we can add in. I don't think we're going to be able to. A rattlesnake is a carnivore that's small. So I think the way this works is that they have to be of similar sizes. So small. Okay, we earned some more Tyto coins. Let's actually unlock the king snake because it's small and it should be able to eat these jackrabbits then. The coral snake, I believe, is very small. So okay, let's go ahead. We'll unlock the king snake, and then we will place some of them down. I want to put them some ways from the coral snakes, because I think they might attack the coral snakes, but I'm not positive, so I'm going to try and keep them a little ways away. Hopefully they will target hopefully they'll target the jackrabbits and not the other predators. But I should hope that they will go for what it would be easier prey in the form of these jackrabbits. So let's look at these guys. How's their hunger? It's still pretty high. And we gotta just keep putting down grass until we get this problem sorted out. So apparently I've overcompensated, because the problem a lot of people have is that they put in too many carnivores apparently, and I've overcompensated to try and avoid that problem. I've put in too few, and I put them in too late, because as you can see, plants are just completely disappearing. There's not even, they can't even live. There's just so many jackrabbits eating absolutely stinking everything. And this is actually a good example of what happens when you have an ecosystem, perhaps where carnivores are taken out. This is very similar to what happened with wolves in Yellowstone, because for a while, wolves were actually hunted to extinction in Yellowstone. Now, not everywhere, of course. There were wolves in other parts of the world, but not so very long ago, people were really afraid of wolves, and they thought they should probably just try to get rid of them. so that they could have the huge herds of grazing animals that Yellowstone was known for. And back then they didn't understand a lot of the science, and they didn't realize the impact that would have on the ecosystem. They just wanted people to be able to see huge herds of peaceful animals, and back then wolves were really cast in a very negative light. But soon after they hunted the wolves to extinction, there were no more wolves in that area. Soon after that, they started realizing there were a lot of problems. The prey animals absolutely exploded in population because there weren't really any large natural predators to keep them at bay. And so they started eating absolutely everything, and actually causing a lot of damage because the prey animals got out of control with no predators to keep them in check. So having predators in an ecosystem is actually incredibly important, and without them, the ecosystem is going to suffer. Now, wolves have since been reintroduced into Yellowstone, and that's actually the era when we see wolf quests starting to take place. The wolves right after within the years surrounding the wolves' reintroduction. So there's not the wolf population. I don't know if it's as big yet as it was at one point, but it is definitely getting larger, and since the wolves have returned, the ecosystem has come back into balance. So there has to be, for things to work right in nature, there does have to be a balance between predator and prey, so that the animals are able to survive, because otherwise the prey animals get to be so explosive in population that they actually will start to starve to death because there's just not enough food because there's so many prey animals. And that's the situation we're trying to avoid here. Now, we're frantically placing down grass to prevent that, but if we weren't doing that, these jackrabbits would eat everything and then die of starvation. All right, let's get our monthly income. So it's a really interesting dynamic, and one that can be a little bit difficult to balance. But it is extremely, extremely important. The other important thing that predators do is a lot of the time they will target the weak and the sick. So if there's, say, if we go back to the Yellowstone example, let's say a disease started to spread among some of the elk, and they weren't as healthy as some of the others. They were a little bit sick, and it started making them a little weaker. Well, the wolves would notice that, and because hunting poses a great danger to them too, they try to target the weak animals. Well, they would start to kill off the sick animals, thereby keeping them from spreading the disease as fast and keeping the numbers of the sickness down. They also would end up killing off animals that had maybe genetic diseases or something, genetic problems, that might make them less healthy, might make their offspring less healthy if they were able to breed and pass on those genes. The wolves will target them and take out those animals so they don't get the chance to spread on those bad genes. That's how it works in nature with animals. They keep the ecosystem in balance, basically. The predators will, because they target the animals that are weaker. And it does seem a little bit cruel, but remember, this is how nature works. It's not the same as human civilization. It's really not all that nice. There is a lot of death in nature, but it's how things work here. And humans are a little bit different in that respect, in that it's not such a, like we have more of a, the goal of an animal is to survive and pass on its genes. For humans, we have a little bit more of an advanced cognitive ability and such that makes it a little bit different for us. So we don't see the same sort of thing we see in the animal kingdom with us. I should hope we don't, at least. In human society, because it just works a little bit differently. And so to us it can seem a little bit cruel, but really it's the way that nature works. Sometimes it's not nice, but honestly, most of the time when something dies in nature, it goes to feed something else. A little bit of a harsh reality, but it is what it is. And so predators remain an important part of the ecosystem. And hopefully our predators here will start to reproduce pretty soon, but so will some of the prey animals. So we have 18 weeks, 34 weeks, 30 weeks, and 25 weeks, and 10 weeks. So 10 weeks is a little bit better. How are these guys doing? They seem to be doing quite well. We have 3 of 4. Did one of them get preyed on then? No, maybe that's just how, no, I don't know. I don't know what happened to one of the snakes. If they start with 4, maybe we'll place down some more snakes, because they don't seem to be eating the coral snakes, or the coral snakes, and I don't think they're eating the bobcats or anybody. So maybe we'll put down another one here and see how many do they start with. Do they start with all 4, or do they start with 3 or 4? Could be a bobcat got one of the snakes. Oh yeah, I think a bobcat did get one of the snakes. Oops, no, bobcats. You're supposed to eat the prey animals, not the other predators. But yeah, I can imagine bobcats would attack and kill snakes if they had the chance. And they are a little bit larger, I believe. If we look at the bobcats here, they're a medium-sized carnivore, as opposed to the jackrabbits are small herbivores, and the snakes are small, the king snakes are small carnivores. So hopefully, no, I don't want the bobcats to eat all the snakes. So I'm actually going to put down some more snakes. Got some more monthly income. We are down to 95 HP. That's scaring me just a bit. The HP of the biodome is dropping, so we gotta try. It's because all the plants are dying. But we've really got to get this jackrabbit population back in check. We really need something that's just constantly hungry and constantly eating these jackrabbits, and I don't know what would do that. Let's go ahead and look through some of these and see if there's anything else we should work towards unlocking. Badgers are omnivores, so let's not put them down yet. Rattlesnakes might go after them because they can't be eaten by bobcats, because I don't think bobcats can eat. No, I'm pretty sure they can't. They can't eat the rattlesnakes. Burrowing owls are carnivores. We might try to put them in at some point when we unlock them. They're small. Coyotes are large, so we want to get a mule deer population established before we would do that. Oh man, all these plants are dying. I don't really want to let the jackrabbits die out, because even though they will if they starve, that's going to really drop the HP of the biodome. Oh, it did go up a little bit, but that's probably because we're adding new plants. Oh man, they're eating faster than I can put stuff down. But I think we maybe will try for the rattlesnakes when a few more months have gone by, and we can see how things go. Eventually, I want to start opening up some other biodomes as well, but I don't want to do that until we had this one a little bit more stable. Who is eating the king snakes? Bobcats, are you eating the king snakes? Please don't eat my king snakes. Please don't eat the king snakes. They're not, I want to get rattlesnakes, because I think those will fare a little bit better. Okay, where's the group that has low population? Is it this one? Nope, that's coral snakes. Is it these guys? No. No. This one. Okay, they've still got 2. Bobcats, don't eat them. Please don't eat them. You're supposed to be eating the jackrabbits. So the king snakes might not do so well in this area. We might have to station them in an area where there are less, because they don't reproduce fast either, where there are less other carnivores. They might need a kind of isolated area to themselves, so we might have to try and introduce them in later. But I think we can introduce the rattlesnakes, and because I'm pretty sure the bobcats can't eat venomous life forms, and so the bobcats should leave them alone. And we are known for having rattlesnakes out here. We do have out in the desert. They are, I don't know how common they are, but you do hear about them. If you're planning on going out in the desert, you always do get warned to be careful of the snakes, because people do get bitten by rattlesnakes out here, and sometimes they do die. A rattlesnake bite can kill you, so you have to be really careful if you're going to go hiking, just to avoid snakes. If you take proper precaution, it's really not all that dangerous, but it's good to be advised. So we do have to be a little bit careful about that out here. But rattlesnakes are, again, an important part of the ecosystem. So when we've gone, we probably need 1 or 2 more months. Okay, these guys, I don't know if that group's going to die out. These guys are okay. These guys are okay. Oh, that's coral snakes. These guys are down 1. These guys are okay. I think the bobcats may have killed a few of them, but they seem to be mostly focusing on the jackrabbits. So that's a good thing. But yeah, once we have probably 2 more months gone by, we will be able to, okay, oh, monthly income, so we're almost there. And in a little bit, the other thing you guys have said is that we can start putting stuff out that maybe has some more fruit. But the trouble with that is that look at all this stuff that has fruit here. Beaver tail cactus, barrel cactus. Oh, yay! Okay. Okay, years 2 through 9 won't get us any achievements. Let's get our rewards. So we got a lot of Tyto coins. Okay, so that's less of an issue. I'm actually going to take it off the sped up mode because what I was going to say the issue is these guys are all really expensive, but we just got like 100 Tyto coins, so we could actually put some of these in if we want. Because apparently the fruit may help too. So where are those rattlesnakes? Holy cow! Let's unlock the rattlesnakes. We'll put down probably several of these guys if we can, because I don't think the bobcats will eat them. So I'm not going to put too many if I can help it. How are these guys doing? Oh, man, they're still explosive. So the population is going down. Hopefully that means we'll have less breeding adults when the time comes for them to reproduce. But you can see most of them. Okay, these guys are actually a little bit low in population, so it is working, I think. So we have 19 and 13, 24 and 7, that's bobcats, 14 and 11, 36 and 6, 11 and 16, 9 and 4. Yeah, the population is coming down. So I think we're starting to get everything balanced out again, which is very, very, very good to see. But let's go back over here. I'm gonna look at, so this is a barrel cactus. Does it say, I don't know. Let's look at some of these. Oh, Joshua trees. Those are really iconic. What can we buy with 90? We could get saguaros. We could get desert willows, honey mesquites. I don't know what these, how big those are. Sweet acacia. I think these might be larger trees. But I might try, I'm going to get a barrel cactus. Go ahead and spend these, and we'll try and put some of these down, because potentially we can get some of these. Okay, I got to put some normal plants down as well. But you guys have said some of the stuff that has more fruit or more leaf may help. So we can also look and see what has more leaf. Big sagebrush might be a good option. Desert spoon, Mukateo. Maybe we'll try some of this, not creosote. Big sagebrush. Let's unlock that as well. And I'll try and put some of that down. Oh, this is a familiar one. We have lots of this out here. Let's place down quite a bit of this and see, because this has more leaf, as you can see. So let's place a lot of this down. You do see a lot of this out here. All right, I'm going to put it back on speed up because we are out of energy again. How are these guys doing? They still have 2 individuals. Okay. So hopefully these jackrabbits, because I think most of them, 12 weeks until reproduction. They have 15 juveniles, 7 weeks, 6 weeks. A lot of them they reproduce so fast that I think, oops, that's bobcats. I think, yeah, these guys are going to reproduce soon. I think we're going to be okay with that. But if not, it's not a big deal to add more of those guys. So we did add in a lot of carnivores, and we may have overcompensated. But, like, the bobcats are eating the king snakes. It's gonna, I think it'll work out okay. And we can, once we have that area more in check, we can start expanding out this way. And in fact, maybe we will place, because I see bobcats ranging all the way out over here. I don't know what these are. Those are mushrooms, so the detritus level is still okay as well. Let's place another jackrabbit area over here, because these bobcats are ranging out quite far. Let's make sure we get some sagebrush in, so that they have more leaf they can eat. And it is a little bit more expensive, but it's got about double the leaf. So, okay. It's still too low. We're going to start putting more and more sagebrush in these areas where we've been having issues with the rabbits eating everything. So hopefully these guys, the one that we were concerned about, I think they already bred. Yeah, I think that was the one we were concerned about. or no, it's this one, 1 week until reproduction. They should be just fine, because I think all these juveniles will become adults and be able to reproduce. So that will be a good thing. Let's make sure we get down some more of this big sagebrush. How are they all doing? A lot of them are already having wow, a lot of them are already getting eaten. So the trouble that happens sometimes with all of this is that, okay, what happened here? A group of jackrabbits has split. Okay, so it means it got big enough that it actually split off into 2 groups. So those guys are still doing all right, and this is also the area where we have the highest concentration of predators, so I'm not overly worried there. I'm going to be putting down a lot more sagebrush than I have, and then we'll be putting other plants, because again, it has so much more leaf, but eventually we will start to put other plants into. How are these guys doing? How are these plants doing? How far is that? Okay, yeah, that's fine. They're well within the moth's territory. And we're going to make sure that we keep on putting these plants in. And I think, oh boy, yeah, okay, we're getting more, we're getting better diversity scores, so that's helping us get more and more income with every passing month. We're not going to get another anniversary reward though, unless we start another biodome. We won't get one for several years. So let's make sure we put this in. And again, this is where the highest concentration of predators is, so I just hope these guys will do their work. And let me know what you guys think, if you think it might be a good idea for me to start maybe a couple other, perhaps, quote, feeder biodomes, where we have other, where we run other biodomes to help maybe get some more of the title coins and get stuff unlocked, or if you think we should just play through it like this, and not try to unlock anything else, because I believe the title coins are shared between biodomes. So we're starting to get more sagebrush in. Some of it is still disappearing pretty quickly, but I think we're going to be alright. And the king snakes are still doing okay. These rattlesnakes are doing okay. How are our jackrabbit populations? Okay, yeah, we've got more juveniles. We've got lots of juveniles, Yeah, everybody seems to be doing okay. How is our new population? These guys, I think, are doing all right. And maybe we'll try and unlock this area. How much will it cost to unlock this area? If we close this and we go, I think here, Zone 3 costs 125, and we don't have that yet, because then we can get more energy, and that'll help us out a lot, I think. I'm going to just keep placing sagebrush as much as we have energy for it, so that we can hopefully get more of these guys fed, and they won't eat everything quite as quickly. Some of these are still okay. Oh, yeah, there goes another one. But a lot of them are getting consumed very, very quickly. There's just so many jackrabbits that it is so difficult to sustain a population of anything green here. And the trouble with these is they don't really spread on their own if they're getting eaten so fast. I don't know if they spread on their own otherwise anyway. But they're getting eaten so fast that they're really not spreading on their own. And we need to get that back in balance. These guys need to be able to handle themselves before we add more to this area. So I kind of want to start expanding out this way and possibly setting up more ecosystem over here. Oh, do we have a hunt going on? No, we just have a bobcat running. Just got a bobcat running. Alright, let's make sure. There we go. And I do want to eventually get to, if we look further along in the list, we have, I want to get desert tortoises as well, but they're also herbivores, so we really need to get our herbivore population stable. Honeybees would be good, but I really want to get to stuff like the mule deer and the coyote and the pronghorn, the collared peccary, and even the cougar. The cougar costs a lot to unlock, but I really want to start getting some of the larger creatures too, but we really can't do that until we have these populations back in check. And the way we're doing that right now is by having a lot of the predators. So how is this population doing? Is it still okay? It's still okay. So I think we're actually going to go ahead and leave off here for now. So I'll maybe place down a few last sagebrush as I'm talking. Oh, we got another monthly income. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.